Hello and welcome. As we grow older, many of us begin to reflect more deeply on the meaning of life, our purpose, and what lies beyond the physical world. These reflections often lead to a stronger interest in spirituality, not necessarily tied to any specific religion, but rooted in a desire for peace, connection, and understanding. For seniors, exploring spiritual well-being can become just as important as caring for physical or emotional health. It can offer comfort, clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose during this stage of life. Let's explore spirituality and aging, a guide for seniors on faith, meaning, and connection. A lot of people believe that spirituality and aging go hand in hand, and they're probably right. After all, getting older tends to deepen a person's longing for the very things that a spiritual life can provide, things like a sense of comfort, meaning, purpose, and connection. That's why seniors who want to age well often choose to focus more of their attention on their spiritual needs and aspirations. It's a way to renew their outlook on life, become more attuned to their place in the world, and benefit from the potentially restorative nature of life-affirming spiritual practices. In short, having faith or a feeling of interconnectedness can make a person's heart sing, and that's something everyone deserves, regardless of age. What is spirituality? Everyone answers this question a little differently. That's because spirituality tends to be a very personal matter. For some people, spirituality is defined by their belief in God or their practice of a particular religion. For other people, it's defined by certain kinds of deeply felt emotion, and it may or may not involve belief in a higher power, belief in a supernatural realm, or a devotion to any single philosophy or set of beliefs. At its core, spirituality is an aspect of human life that often involves seeking answers to some of the most fundamental questions about our existence. These include pondering why we are here, what our purpose in life might be, and what happens after we die. It also encompasses questions about whether we can transcend the material world, how we should live our lives, what truly matters most, and whether we are each alone or inherently connected to others. Through this introspective journey, spirituality offers a path to greater meaning, connection, and inner peace. When people talk about their spirit, they are often referring to the hard-to-describe force that animates the core of their inner being. By extension, anything that enlivens our spirit or helps us attune to it can be described as spiritual. That's why many people say that they've had spiritual experiences when they've been deeply moved by certain activities, events, personal interactions, or moments of profound insight or inspiration. Although beliefs and opinions vary substantially, a lot of people see a clear distinction between spirituality and religion. In fact, religion is often said to be just one possible path to spirituality. Despite some overlap, other distinctions can also be made. Spirituality is often perceived as a broad, subjective, and unifying concept that is informal, non-denominational, and highly personal. It tends to be feeling-oriented and is experienced inwardly, emphasizing a personal journey of meaning and connection. In contrast, religion is typically viewed as well-defined and highly structured, with formal practices tied to specific denominations. It focuses more on community, rituals, and adherence to particular doctrines. Religion is generally behavior-oriented and is seen as an outward experience that can bring inward benefits. Does spirituality become more important as you age? For many people, spirituality does become more important. But it's a highly individualized experience. No two people are the same. We all have distinct needs, perceptions, personalities, and life histories. Some seniors see aging itself as a spiritual journey, whereas others turn to spiritual development as a way to find more richness, meaning, inner strength, or comfort in their lives as they reflect on the past and think about what's still to come. Many factors can affect a senior's desire to explore more of his or her spirituality. For example, a senior or elderly American may be drawn closer to spirituality or religious faith because of several life circumstances, One such factor is retirement. This stage of life often comes with big changes to our daily activities, the roles we play, and the way we see ourselves. Although it is often an exciting and fulfilling time, it can also feel unfamiliar. That's particularly true for people who retire from full-time careers or who no longer spend the bulk of their time raising or supporting a family. Another significant factor is grieving. As we get older, more of our friends and family members are likely to pass away. As a result, we may go through the grieving process more frequently than when we were younger. Faith or spirituality can provide us with extra stability as we cope with the loss of our loved ones and reflect on what they've meant to us. Decreased independence also contributes to the connection between aging and spirituality. Many of us experience some physical decline during our later years. We may need assistance with certain aspects of everyday living, which can make us feel embarrassed or uncomfortable. We may even wonder who we've become if the way we perceive ourselves doesn't match reality. Spirituality can help us bridge that gap. In addition, an increased amount of time to reflect often accompanies older age. One of the gifts of getting older is that we often have more time each day to ponder the mysteries of life and reflect on everything we've done so far. We get to review our achievements as well as our setbacks while beginning to recognize a meaningful narrative that ties it all together. We may even start to see deeper connections between our life and the lives of people from past or future generations. In fact, one major aspect of the spirituality of aging is that, upon extra reflection, our perspective may shift in surprisingly profound and positive ways. Finally, a growing awareness of one's own mortality can strongly influence spiritual exploration. Many of us fear passing away. We don't know what the experience will be like or whether our spirit or soul will continue to live on. Will our consciousness remain intact? What will happen to the loved ones we leave behind? Have we created a meaningful legacy that will live on? What will we be remembered for? Spirituality or religious faith can help us make peace with our mortality. As part of their experiences with aging and spirituality, seniors may adopt new habits or ways of living that reflect a deeper connection to their inner selves. For example, many spiritually inclined seniors place more focus on their inner lives than on external expectations. They begin to speak from their hearts more frequently and put more effort into making meaningful connections with other people. With time, they may also develop more patience and attentiveness, seeking out opportunities for silence and solitude as a way to center themselves. Their perception of time often shifts as well, prompting them to live more fully in the moment. Additionally, they tend to allow more time for reflection, sharing, and loving, all of which contribute to a richer, more spiritually fulfilling life. How popular is religion among seniors? According to global survey data from the mid-2023s, religion continues to hold significant importance among older adults, more so than in any other age group. Around 85% of people over the age of 65 considered religion to be either very or somewhat important in their lives. This strong connection to faith is further reflected in other aspects of spiritual practice. Approximately 74% of older adults reported a belief in heaven, while about 70% said they believed in God with absolute certainty. Daily spiritual routines are also common, with around 65% indicating they pray at least once a day. Belief in the concept of hell was expressed by nearly 56% of respondents in this age group. In addition, about 48% attended religious services on a weekly basis, and 40% stated that religion served as their main source of moral guidance. Altogether, these figures highlight the central role that spirituality and religious belief continue to play in the lives of seniors worldwide, offering comfort, purpose, and a sense of connection as they age. Can you be an atheist and spiritual at the same time? That depends on your individual perspective. Many people of faith think that a spiritual life requires belief in God or a supreme being. But atheists, by definition, do not believe in the existence of a literal God. However, many atheists do consider themselves to be spiritual, just not in a way that conforms to how some religious people tend to think of spirituality. For spiritual atheists, meaning, connection, purpose, and morality are not derived from religious doctrines or ideas about the supernatural. Instead, they are derived from everyday experiences, observations, philosophical reflection, logical reasoning, and from what we continue to learn about the physical universe through science. All of those things are compatible with a definition of spirituality that's based on profound emotion and a search for answers about the biggest mysteries of life. Simply put, many atheists feel a deep sense of connection to the world and have a desire and willingness to improve themselves and help their fellow human beings. It's all part of their own search for meaning in a constantly changing universe. When does a senior need spiritual care? A person's well-being is defined by much more than just his or her physical health. People also have mental and spiritual needs. That's why many seniors with mental or physical conditions benefit from holistic care and counseling that addresses their spirituality. In fact, some older adults experience faster or more complete healing from injuries, emotional grief, or other afflictions when they have the support of a chaplain or spiritual counselor. And of course, spiritual guidance can provide a sense of peace, comfort, and courage when a person is battling a terminal illness or nearing death. Receiving spiritual care in later life can lead to a wide range of positive outcomes for older adults. Many seniors experience improved confidence and self-esteem as they feel more grounded in their beliefs and values. Spiritual support can also help mend strained or broken relationships, allowing for healing and reconnection. With a renewed sense of faith or spiritual clarity, older adults often develop a more hopeful outlook on life, embracing each day with greater optimism. This journey frequently leads to a stronger sense of purpose and meaning, helping individuals feel that their lives still matter and contribute value. Additionally, engaging in spiritual practices or receiving guidance can foster a greater sense of personal dignity, empowering seniors to navigate the challenges of aging with grace and inner strength. For seniors who devoutly practice certain religions, faith-specific spiritual care is frequently very important. After all, they may want to observe specific rituals or follow other practices related to aspects like their diet. Faith-specific care is often especially vital when a devoutly religious person is close to passing away. What are the best spiritual activities for seniors? As an older, you can do all kinds of things to get more in tune with your spiritual core. And by doing activities that promote a deeper sense of connection, wholeness, meaning, and purpose, you can awaken new perceptions that renew your outlook and give you inner strength for the rest of your human journey. Every religion offers spiritual practices that are designed to bring you closer to a sense of the divine. These include activities like praying, chanting, fasting, taking part in rituals, celebrating special milestones, and many others. However, you don't necessarily need to follow any particular religious practices in order to enliven your spirituality. Anything that you love doing, something that makes you feel whole or truly alive, or that gives you a deeper sense of connection to the world can be considered a spiritual activity. For example, volunteering allows you to give your time and efforts to a worthy cause, generating many positive emotions that feel deeply rooted in your spiritual core. Spending time with nature can also nurture your spirit. The world is full of natural wonders that sustain a sense of enchantment with life. Simple activities like watching the night sky, sitting under a tree, planting flowers, walking through a garden, listening to ocean waves, or interacting with animals can be incredibly grounding. Meditating is another deeply spiritual practice. In surveys, more than half of seniors over 65 reported meditating at least once a week. Among its many benefits, meditation enhances self-awareness and acceptance of things beyond your control. Participating in prayer groups can also offer both spiritual and social rewards, allowing you to feel supported and hopeful through a shared spiritual experience. Sharing stories and talking about good memories with others helps build connection and a sense of being grounded. Music, too, plays a vital role in spirituality. It's called a universal language for a reason. Listening to or playing music draws you into the present and can reawaken comforting memories and uplift your spirit. Even physical experiences like getting a massage, dancing, or practicing yoga can foster spiritual connection. These activities help bring your focus to the present moment, quiet your worries, and heighten your sense of unity with the world or with others. Other creative expressions, such as reading or writing, offer profound spiritual rewards. Reading the thoughts of others can spark your own spiritual insights, while writing can reveal truths about yourself, your beliefs, and your personal journey. Similarly, engaging in arts and crafts, acts of creation, can provide a meditative and transcendent experience. Even the simplest gestures, such as holding hands or gazing into someone's eyes, foster interpersonal spiritual connection. And sometimes, doing absolutely nothing like sitting in silence, free of distractions, can offer the clearest pathway to spiritual awareness, allowing you to listen more closely to the quiet voice within. Ultimately, no matter what you believe in, the activities that you enjoy most or that bring you closer to other people or make a positive difference in the world are the ones that are likely to feel most spiritual to you. So play, laugh, love, create, and remember that almost everyone, regardless of age, shares the same fundamental questions about the deep mysteries of life. As we grow older, nurturing our spiritual well-being becomes just as important as caring for our physical health. Whether through traditional religious practices or simple everyday activities that bring peace, joy, and connection, spirituality can offer comfort, purpose, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. It reminds us that we are part of something greater and that even in stillness, there is meaning. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who may benefit. Thank you for spending this time with us, and may your spiritual journey continue to bring you light and serenity.